If I was born in the Caribbean as a white person, I certainly wouldn't call myself
well, I'm afraid
Caribbean.
Have you ever been to the Caribbean, Jean?
I haven't. No, I haven't had the fortune.
Well, then you probably don't realise that in countries like Barbados, there are significant white Caribbean populations who have been there for hundreds of years. And they are significantly more Caribbean than I am.
Well, all
Didn't know that, did you?
All right, so in this video, we're going to look back at a call that felt shocking at the time. A radio caller to LBC drew a line in the sand, telling a black British-born member of Parliament, David Lammy, exactly who she thought he was and who he wasn't allowed to be. 4 years on, what's truly shocking is how mainstream this sentiment has become. The private prejudice of a single caller is now the public rhetoric of politicians. We're going to watch the key moments and then break down why this change is more important today than it ever was. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. Now let's watch this together and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
You keep saying that you are African Caribbean, which is fine, but how can you be African Caribbean and English? I couldn't be African. I'm English, but I certainly could not call myself African Caribbean.
You could be Irish, though. You could have Irish.
No, I'm not Irish.
Yeah, but
I'm
you
not
could
Scottish.
be. You could be.
No, I'm not. Because I have looked my name right the way back to the Middle Ages, my maiden name, and I'm Anglo-Saxon.
Great.
But you will never be English. You are African Caribbean.
But why will I never be English?
Because you're African Caribbean.
Look,
I can't say to you.
At what point? What about my kids? What are my kids? What are my kids?
I can't say I'm African Caribbean.
What? Yeah, but the truth is, Jean, just a little bit of history on this. Britain, 400 years ago, started going out into the world. It colonised and conquered a lot of the world. A lot of the world has ended up coming back to the mother country. My parents were part of that generation who came from the Caribbean. When I took a DNA test, I actually had Scottish in me, probably because as a result of that, someone somewhere, frankly, got their leg over with one of my ancestors, and I've got Scottish blood running through me. I said that gently, but it could have been horrendous. Let's be clear about that. And here I am, having grown up in this country, have been born of this country, and actually, the truth is, it's a myth that there's one English ethnicity. There's not, because England has always been a country in which Huguenots, Danes, all sorts of people have passed through. So when you say you are English, I'm not saying that doesn't mean something to you and matter hugely.
It does.
Because there are probably, as you put it, years and years, hundreds of years of experience of that. But it is to say that for me, the fact that I was born here and the fact that my sensibilities are English mean that I want to claim that heritage as well. Now, I'm very comfortable saying I'm British, black British. Of course I am. And I'm very, very proud. No one could say I wasn't, because I talk about it all the time, about my Caribbean roots. And I know the Caribbean very well. But it's to say that I'm English. Sorry? What?
You're British, but you're not English.
Well, that's the point I think you're making, and I'm disagreeing with that. Tell me, what do you think? What do you think?
If I was born in the Caribbean as a white person, I certainly wouldn't call myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid
Caribbean.
Have you ever been to the Caribbean, Jean?
I haven't. No, I haven't had the fortune.
Well, then you probably don't realise that in countries like Barbados, there are significant white Caribbean populations who have been there for hundreds of years, and they are significantly more Caribbean than I am.
Well, all Didn't I can know that, say is the whole world is polluting everybody the way it's going.
What's that phrase, polluting?
It is.
Why is it polluting, Jean?
Because you are what you are. You are where you are born.
But hang on, Jean.
Your inheritance. It's your inheritance.
Jean, I can tell that you are more senior than I am in age. So I want to be polite.
No, don't do that.
In this conversation. Well, that's how I was brought up, that you're polite to your seniors, Jean. But what I'm saying is the word pollution Where's that word pollution come from? It's a very negative way.
Well, I'm sorry for that,
but it is negative. It's a negative way to describe the fact that people meet one another, they fall in love, they have kids, they move borders, sometimes through war, sometimes through economic reasons, and they become what they become when they are of that country. And just as you can be in America, and you can be African American, or you can be Italian American, or you can be Irish American. How is it that here in England you can only claim that Englishness effectively, Jean, if you are white?
You will never be English. There it is. 4 years ago, it was easy to dismiss that line as an outlier, a voice from a fading generation. But we were wrong. The caller wasn't an echo of the past. She was a preview of our political present. The journey from that statement to high-ranking politicians like Robert Jenrick complaining that he couldn't see a white face in a certain part of Birmingham, suggesting that multiculturalism has failed, and that lack of integration threatens our national character, is a short and terrifyingly direct path. So Lammy's response is not any longer just a con takedown of a caller. It's a foundational argument against the political ideology that, since this call was made in 2021, has gained tremendous ground. He wasn't just debating Jean, he was unknowingly debating the future rhetoric of the hard and far right. Her choice of the word polluting is where her mask slips entirely. It's the language of purity, of contamination. And while senior MPs might use more polished words, they'll talk about social cohesion, the failure of integration, or uncontrolled migration. They are tapping into the exact same fear, the fear of the nation's identity being polluted. Jean was just crude enough to say it out loud. Today's politicians are smart enough to code it. And Lammy's final point about American identity is the one they still can't answer. He asks why a layered identity, African American, Italian American, is very normal there, but is presented as a contradiction, a threat here in the UK. And these people have no logical response because their argument isn't based on logic. It's based on the same prejudice we heard from Jean, that for them, true Englishness can only ever be white. So this clip really has aged into a chilling document. It shows the moment that a private prejudice began its journey to becoming a public political platform. And whether we like it or not, the conversation in this country has become a damn sight more racist. And we all heard the warning signs right here. I'm genuinely interested to read your thoughts in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.